little moody lately. I don't know if it was because she had, you know, gone all winter, and I don't know if it's a hormonal thing or what have you. She had gone so long without being pregnant, but the other rabbits, Pearl and, well, Salt is outside now, they weren't experiencing that, so I don't know what the deal was, but she's wanting to raise up and kind of slap at our hands when we reach in there sometimes, and I think she nipped. Did she nip you, Dana?
Mm-hmm.
What about, and Becca too? Okay, well, one thing that I can show you guys real quick is sometimes you will have a doe, especially if she's in a bad mood, and a lot of times it'll surprise you. They'll act a little territorial when you go to reach into their cage. Let me show you something that'll help. Now, Sarabi, she's just skittish, but she's not territorial or aggressive in any way. But here's the thing. We have this straw and stuff when we feed them, which you can tell they haven't been fed yet this afternoon, but it's because they're all out. But when we have this straw and stuff in here, and we go to clean that out, that's when a lot of the time a rabbit will see that as aggression, especially if you're raking that straw and it's raking across their face or something, and they feel like they need to defend themselves for whatever reason. Why, I don't know, because they've never been harmed or treated poorly in any way here, but I don't know.
Use the lash off of that last cage.
Yeah, I can do that if I can get it off. It's turned upside down. There it goes. Anyway, I'll pin this up. Good idea there. Yeah. Anyway, when you reach into these cages and you have a rabbit that's a little bit aggressive, hold your hand high. Okay? Yesterday, Pearl Sky was in with a buck, and since she had already been bred, and we put her back with a buck after they've been bred, like 8 hours or so later. And if they're bred, a lot of times the buck will just agitate them because of his continued advances. Well, she got a little agitated. Well, when I reached in, she raised up there like she was going to slap at my hand. Well, all I was going to do was grab her by the nape of the neck and pick her up and take her out of the cage. Well, when I reached in like this, she backed up and she raised her paws up, okay? Well, I backed out. Number one, if you show fear and stop and just go away and leave them alone, you're going to reinforce their behavior. Okay, but here's what you do. You raise your hand up nice and high, and I held my hand up just like that, and you could actually see, because Sky was all tensed up, okay? And you could tell that she was ready to lunge at my hand. I held my hand just like this for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds. And you see what Sarabi did? She turned and gave me a picture of her best side. But I could see the tension go out of Sky yesterday. Okay, and she stopped and she started picking up a piece of straw and nibbling at it, or I think there might have been a slice of bread. Anyway, I just raised my hand up like this. Now, if she were to lunge, at my hand with it up here like this, I'm in a position where I can just, like that, right on top of her head. You're not hurting her, but you're letting her know you're not afraid of her. But I had done this with Sky before, and so all I had to do was put my hand up here, and the tension just drained out of her. And I reached on in and I picked her up. It wasn't any problem. Now, Sarabi is a little skittish. She don't mind us touching her, but she doesn't like to be held, really. She's doing pretty good now. Anyway, I just wanted to show you, a lot of times when an animal shows aggression, here's what I've noticed. When a rabbit shows aggression, number one, it's very rare that a doe will do it. Okay, unless it's in a situation like I just said, where you've got her in with a buck and the buck has her agitated, and you have to reach in there to get her out of the cage with from the buck and put her back into her own cage. Now, the majority of times that I've seen aggression in a rabbit is the buck. Okay, bucks are usually sweet and docile and what have you, but I'm going to tell you what I've noticed. Sometimes this buck is great. I don't know if you remember when we had Big Red right here in this cage, right here, it was last year. We called him Big Red. He was a big red New Zealand buck, okay? He had aggressive tendencies. And those aggressive tendencies came out more whenever we would put a doe in with him for breeding, and we would go to reach in to get that doe. I've actually had him to claw my hand. That's when when we put a doe would put a doe in with him for breeding. He didn't want us to take her away, and he would feel the need. The way I saw it, he was seeing the need to defend her. I guess he thought I was going to do something mean to her or whatever, or just the fact that he didn't want me to take that doe out of his cage to where he wouldn't have somebody to love on anymore. I don't know, but I just did him the same way. He actually got to where when we reached in to push this cage in, he would claw at that cage. And this right here is just a little piece of, I don't know, a little piece of oak wood. Becca, my daughter, she got to where she was afraid to reach her hand in. So I told her, I said, you know, raise the cage up, and just like I did with my hand, just kind of put it right there in front of his face. And you know what he'd start to do? He would lay down and put his chin on the wire. It was to me, and the way I describe that is he submitted. Any aggressive tendencies that he had just went away because he just laid down there and he submitted. Then you could reach in, no problem, grab that rabbit and do anything you wanted. You could pet that rabbit. It wouldn't move. It would lay right there. And no, we do not club rabbits with a stick. We do just what I just told you I did. That's why they're here. Because it's been here since we used it on that rabbit. We've not used it since then until just now. I picked it up, and this is one we had. This right here, we don't club a rabbit with that either. That was in a cage actually for a rabbit to chew on, and I don't remember, it was a little big or something, and I pulled it out and laid it up here. If you're going to give your rabbits pieces of wood to chew on, there's not a problem with it, but they need to be smaller. You need to cut them up like into sections about like that, probably 2 or 3 inches, and then when they're gone, just give them another one. You don't have to give them a great big one. So I guess we'll just cut the video off. Thank y'all for watching. I hope this is helpful. I hope it added a little bit of more information. And again, thanks for watching. I hope this helps, and God bless.